Okay. You're live, it says. Okay. Hello, I'm Heather, and I'm going to do my best to briefly describe what the plan is for this video without getting too distracted by the plan. Okay, so it's Monday. It's September 23rd. Yeah, my phone is right here telling me the info. And for a long time, I've called Mondays Integration Monday. And what that means to me, at its essence, is try to think back over what's just happened over the past few days. Because for some reason, I frequently find myself in a situation where weekends are just really exciting, really interesting. I love that. But if I don't think about it soon afterwards, then I kind of forget a lot of the sparkly details, and I like the sparkly details. So what I do on Monday is at least leave myself breadcrumbs. It would take me all day to try to recap everything I want to try to remember if I tried to say it all. So what I do instead is I compress all of those ideas into a breadcrumb and leave that for myself. And that comes in many different forms. Today, giving myself some breadcrumbs is going to be in the form of making this video. Someday I'll come back and watch it sometime. And then I learn from that. It'll remind me what I needed to know. Okay, so that's what I need to say. Okay, so I'll listen to my video, giving myself the breadcrumbs when I come back, and it'll pop open those packets, those little breadcrumbs that I leave. It'll pop open in my memory and in my system, and I'll remember more of what was included in that little packet than just is visible there. So yeah, this is part of the process of making sure that those little breadcrumbs get made and set up aside for later, for when I'm ready to come back. Okay, so and what I mean by come as you are is check-in. This is what I intend to share is essentially what I just really love to know about other people, what's really present for them in that moment, in their body, in their head, in their heart. And sometimes that takes a lot of pausing. I'm also wiggling a lot. I try not to restrain my wiggles too much because, I just want to say that for now. I don't want to get distracted. Okay. Now I am going to change into the person leaving the breadcrumbs rather than the person describing what's happening. Okay. So I would like to focus on the forms that my morning routine has taken this morning, because it's been particularly nourishing and delicious. That's how I want to remember, and because this is one I might want to repeat. It's in some way. Okay, so I also, as a subtext, what I'm also trying to tune into when I'm trying to reduce the complexity of what's in my mind into just the essence. What was I going to say? Shit. Try not to get distracted. Oh, I'm focusing on the feeling of how I'm loving myself through this process. Not where I make the mean feelings and voice, but where I am oh, I love you so much, Heather, and this is how I'm going to show you. So that's what I'm focusing on. So I woke up at 5:15 with a little bit of, damn it, but, it's later than usual. And made my way back to the Zen Den to finish my sleep time. It's part of my routine lately. And I snuggled in and I slept in my robe and I set my alarm my alarm was already set yesterday, for 6:35 so that I could go to my women's group, my Rise and Shine call. So sweet. So that was a commitment to myself that I'm like, I'm going no matter how I feel. I'm going no matter what. I don't even have to move out of my bed if I had this negotiation in my head. I don't even have to brush my teeth. Just wake up and go to this call. I was extraordinarily tired when my alarm went off, and it was hard for me to re-agree to wake up. But I snoozed it and woke up just in time from my snooze alarm to click go on the Zoom link. There's no video on this particular call. It's my amazing cousin, Aransas Thomas Savas, her Rise and Shine call. She does every morning. It's at 6:45 a.m. on Mondays for Pacific time. So it's very early for me. But I'm so glad I went. And I think the gem that I'm going to try to infuse all of the memories into is where one of the women used the phrase chop wood, carry water. And what I, from my now space, if I heard her say that, I think the meaning I would take from it is like simplify. Pay attention to the things that absolutely must be done. And there's a couple other pieces that aren't coming right now, but it's really along those lines. I've heard people use it a lot lately, and I'm happy to hear it, because if they're meaning it in the, like, there's just some business of life that needs to be done no matter what, I like to add to that, find a way to enjoy it. So that's how I, in this now moment, would perceive that phrase, in this really supportive, loving, but also come on, get your butt in gear kind of way, but not a mean way. Just like, come on, it's time. Okay. So what happened for me this morning is this feeling that's familiar, and I hadn't quite been able to identify what it was, rushed up. And what finally came to clarify is the visual of my child self. Now some emotion may come up. I'm going to try really hard to stay present with the now. My child self standing at the top of a long hill, a long driveway. It's, in my mind, fairly steep. I'm small. Just a kid. I'm a small kid too. And it's snowing, and it's kind of dark and gray. It's daytime, but it's dark and gray. It must be late afternoon because it gets dark at 4:30. And it's cold. And at the bottom of the hill is a sled with a 5-gallon jug of drinking water on it. And probably some other stuff. I don't know. And in my memory, I am really fucking tired. I've already done a lot that day, and there's still a lot more to come today in that day. But I also gotta right now walk down this hill, find some way to enjoy that. Sometimes I often was able to find a way to enjoy the walk down the hill, like listening to the snow and the crunch of my snow boots and how warm my feet were or whatever. But I need to get down there, and I need to pull that sled with that water on it up the hill to the house. So that's what I visualize when I hear chop wood, carry water. I'm also mostly carrying wood. That's why I often accidentally say it wrong, because there was also a lot of carrying of wood in my childhood. in the snow, in the cold, in the like, fuck, I just want to be in bed. Can I just be a girl and like play with my hair or just read my books? Okay, so that's what comes up for me when I hear that phrase. And I'm pretty sure nobody could ever imagine that that's what comes up for me when I hear that phrase, but that's what it is. So the way I loved myself through that very intense nervous system activation is I named it. I said, this is what's coming up for me. And I expressed gratitude for the opportunity. I think I was the last woman besides Aransas to share. I thanked everyone for the opportunity to get to just steep myself in their wisdom. and what I also am really grateful for is most of the women on the call are older than me or right about my age. And I find that really, really valuable because I in the past have found myself in groups that are primarily younger than me. So I haven't had the one to look up to from an age perspective. So yeah, I loved myself through that activation by sharing it. And Aransas reflected back to me some of the keys that she heard, which they were so beautiful. I'm not sure in this moment if I'm going to be able to. She said, "I heard some mantras that you said." In this moment, they're not coming back to me, but they will. So that's how I started my morning. Was on a call for, I think it's an hour. Yeah. And then I came out into our main living space, and my sweetheart was out here doing his morning routine, getting ready for work. And we're, very much in a like, oh, stars in our eyes, lovey-dovey phase right now. And so, so there was some connection, more connection, because connection is one of the keys of my morning routine. And I got my warm lemon water. I drink a quarter of that in the morning, and I spoke intentions into it of clarity and gentleness. And I figure more next quart I drink, I will infuse it with other essences. What else have I done? Oh, I had some more. Gosh, I'm really into the connection today. I had some really interesting. No, this was actually more of a business thing. Like sometimes I'll get on Facebook in the morning and I'm real targeted on what I'm doing. I don't want to explain that, but I found something this morning. I read a post that I felt was really resonant, and it was a very business oriented post in like somebody who's gone ahead of me on the path that I've been on, that I'm continuing on. And he's down the path a ways, and he's like, yeah, I made 50 grand last month without really even trying. But he did all the try. He did a lot of effort on the front end, and he continues. It's just it was a beautiful post, and it was very detailed, yet it was just everything about it was awesome. It was good modeling for me. That's what I'm saying. So basically, I like threw it out there and be like, anyone who's interested in this, I think this was awesome. And then I had a brief text exchange with someone I haven't talked to in quite some time, but who has been very dear to my heart ever since I first met her. And I'm really exhilarated by the idea of connecting with her. So I messaged her back and I said, oh my gosh, I feel so much delight at reading your text. I'll come back later today and respond. I'm in the midst of my Integration Monday morning practice and trying to stay on track. And I littered it with pretty emojis so that she couldn't possibly, misread it. Like, I never know what voice people hear. I love emojis. And I have, I've already made myself, oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. Good job. I've already made a batch of my love gruel, which is a recipe from Thug Kitchen. I love Thug Kitchen. He's so fucking funny. And I've already made a batch of that, and I've got it in a bowl, and I've got my strawberries washed, and I just need to slice them in and reheat the cereal. And I've got my coffee in my new favorite mug. And I've drank almost a whole quart of water. It's only 10:20. Oh my gosh, another doing so good. This really truly is a celebration. I don't want to think about what my Monday mornings were not that long ago. Well, I'll just say they were very uncomfortable. lots of wailing and crying and extreme discomfort. What else? I've been outside. I've put my feet on the poor dead grass, but it's still ground. It's still natural ground. And said good morning to the birds. And checked in on my new little plants that I just planted some fall greens. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The other really good thing is on the Buy Nothing group, someone was giving away a gate, a baby gate with no hardware and stuff. Like, who's going to be able to use that? And my housemate and I had just been talking earlier on Sunday about I wish I could have a baby gate to keep the dog from going outside, because I'm always afraid on my watch the dog is going to go outside and wander. And she was like, yeah, baby gate sounds like a good idea. Like, literally an hour later, I never check the Buy Nothing site unless I get just like a hit that I need to. And there was, as soon as I looked, there was a gate. And I get to go pick it up now. The lady said, yep, you can have it. So that and then I messaged that to my housemate. I'm like, look what I found. She's like, thank you, universe. That's awesome. I'm like, yay. Yes, thank you, universe. Perfect. Let's see. And now I think I'm caught up of all the ways that I've shown myself that I love myself today. And another theme. That's right. Another important theme that I wanted to say from that I shared with the group this morning was I feel as if I'm truly stepping into an unknown zone where there's just a tremendous amount unknown, a tremendous amount that is completely unlike anything that I had previously imagined. I just have no idea what's going to happen next in my in quite a few areas of my life. Yet that unknown no longer feels like a dragons and bears and near-death experiences kind of level of intensity of discomfort. It now feels like, okay, well, most of the time, most of the stuff that happens is pretty cool. So I trust that. And what's working for me now, I imagine will continue to work for me for a while, because it's still fairly new, the routine that I'm following now. While it still has the basic, the keys that I always say I need in my morning routine are intentional movement, which I have not done yet, but I will shortly. I'll probably do Qigong because I have quite a bit of energy clearing that I need, that would feel good. I'm also movement. Recently at a garage sale, I'm just so excited because I keep looking at it. I got myself one of those rebounders. So I have a little trampoline in my house. And even though we have kind of low roof, a low ceiling, we still, both my sweetheart and I are able to bounce on it. It's so fun. So I'm also going to do some rebounder. It's really good for my lymph and clearing. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time or energy for a coffee enema, but that might be a good idea. It is Monday anyway. Anyhow, Monday's all about taking exquisite care of myself. Integration Monday. Okay. So it's movement, breath, I will do that through my Qigong practice, um, as well as through the rebounder. Connection, I've definitely had plenty of connection. So it's time for some me time now. I will silence my phone and not look at it again for a few hours. Um, Nourishment, I've gotten food. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but that's okay. I've also noticed in this morning, as I've just kind of let myself flow, that it requires very little thought. It's just like this really gentle question. Well, is there anything else that would make this even better? And then, I added my solfeggio tones in the background because I know that that's also good for my system. So yeah, so I keep asking myself that question and kind of fine tuning, but it's coming so easily. Like I don't have to run through a whole list menu of all the options that I could possibly do. It's like the question just feels answered real easily. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, okay. Went on a little longer than I anticipated, but that's what happens sometimes. So that's one difference about the come as you are check-in. Like if I were doing a come as you are circle, which I do plan to do relatively soon, I would ask that the check-in be more like 5 minutes tops. But since it's just me and I can talk as much as I want, yeah, I can go on a little bit longer. And I'm also recognizing, okay, well, I added other stuff in here. It's okay that it's 20 minutes. I guess my goal had been about 10. Okay. I'm feeling really hungry now. That's a really good sign. Thank you, tummy, for being a little bit rumbly. Frequently, my stomach doesn't like to wake up real early, so this is good. So my cereal is ready. I'll warm it up in the magical box called a microwave. My inner child loves to kind of dance around my place and play with the electrical switches and touch the drywall. So nice. Okay. It's 22:22. Means it's time for me to end. Okay. Thank you for being on the receiving end. I wish I would have taken a few more breaths, maybe. So I'm going to continue on having a fabulous Integration Monday. I hope you do too. If you'd like to share about your experience in the comments, I would love it. Or if you'd like to make your own video on your own YouTube channel and like send me a link so I can watch it, that's cool too. That might be fun. Okay. Have a great day. We'll stop immediately.